vibe. Come let we lime, come let we vibe. Lime vibe. Oh, lime vibe.
Yeah.
So, welcome to another Lime Vibe podcast. I'm your host, Yori Kemp, and I'm joined by the wonderful and beautiful Miss Petra Baptiste, all the way from Paris, France. How you doing, Petra?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All is well, Petra. I'm doing great today, actually. And Petra is a
Oh,
fashion designer by way of St Lucia, living in Paris, France. So you took a
yeah.
winding road to get to Paris, haven't you?
Um, yeah. Yeah. I'm currently in Paris. I am originally from St Lucia, and I lived in the UK for 18 to 18 and a half years. So yeah, I've been around.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome. Do you miss St. Lucia of the UK?
Um, I miss St. Lucia. I
Mhm.
absolutely do. What I love and miss about St. Lucia is I love just putting petrol in the car and just going from one beach to the next and literally go around the island doing that. And then the following day I'll do the same and go to um, all the waterfalls. I just love the sightseeing and having the breeze in my face and the sunshine. And living abroad for so long, every time I go back to St. Lucia, it is a must for me that I do stuff like that just to, I don't know, rejuvenate and unwind. And yeah, so I do miss St. Lucia a lot. The UK, I miss the UK in the sense of the UK was more accepting
Mhm.
to my style,
Accepting.
to my energy, to my spirit. It's more accepting, and it embraced me. UK embraced me a little bit more than over here in Paris. But what I'm learning being here in Paris is that I just need to adapt. I need to make a few tweaks and just adapt to the situation here, basically. So it does not mean that it's bad compared to the UK. It's just different. So yeah,
When you say
different can be good.
accepting, what do you mean by accepting? What does that mean, accept? Like, like,
Accepting in the sense that okay, take for example in the UK, I can be quite eccentric with the way that I dress, right? And the UK is more accepting in the sense that nobody would bat an eyelid. I could be walking around, for example, as a punk today, and the next day I'm walking around like some African queen and adorned in jewelry and all of that, and nobody would bat an eyelid because it's more accepting, it's more welcoming, it embraces different cultures in such ways. But over here, the people are very French. They're very French, and they let um, outsiders know that it's the French way, or it's either you adapt to their French ways or you're going to struggle.
the snobbish.
So, yes, so in that way, I say that UK is more accepting. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Wow. I would think that France would be a bit more liberal because they preach liberal, being liberal and being open and accepting to all different cultures and people. So I was thinking that
Um,
I would
I,
think that the United Kingdom would be more suckable, more
yeah. Oh
So you see,
no, oh no. No, that's not my personal experience. That's not my personal experience. Um, but being over here, like I said, is just adapting and trying to do things a little bit more French-like, but not losing my personality or not losing who I am at the same time. So it's trying to find um, a way of balancing things over here. But it does not mean it's a bad thing either. It does
okay.
not mean, it just means that the over here is just allowing me to tap into a different version of me, and I welcome that. So yeah, it's not a bad thing. I'm
So
enjoying it actually.
when you say the
Mm.
French way, what do you mean the French way? What do they do? Like say for example, difference between the culture. What do you mean by the French way?
Um, when I say the French can, I have a statement. The French can be very French. um, when I make that statement, it's a lot of people look at me funny, um, but expatriates tend to understand such a statement easier, in the sense that the French can be French. They stick to who they are, and that's the thing. It's like they're happy with who they are. They accept, they embrace who they are. And if you're gonna come into their country, they're not going to bend backwards to how can I put it? It's like you have to do what they do for you to, I don't know, to fit in. Because their mentality is you're the one coming into our country. You're the one who has to make the effort, learn the language, rather than we try to speak French, speak English to you. Not because you speak English, you're in our country. Learn the language, integrate into the communities, make an effort. So in that way, I see that the French are very French. And when it comes to the style and the fashion, and they're very French with that. And it's so, I'm trying to find the right way to put this. It's like they love who they are. They love who they are. They're not making any excuses for who they are. And whoever else comes into in France, yes, you can come. They're not gonna say don't come. You can come, but you have to at least make an effort to do things the French way. I think that's the best way I can put it.
That's something funny. There was a former president of France, Jacques Chirac,
Mm.
and anytime he visited the United States, he used to annoy American diplomats because he refused to speak English, even though he could speak perfect English. He refused to speak English. He always had a translator.
Yes.
So just goes to show you that French
Mhm.
pride.
Yes, and that's what it is. Exactly. It is a French pride. And it's like no matter where they go, they are going to let you know, I'm French. I'm not going to try and change to please you. This is who I am. This is what I know. I'm not going to. So, you know what? We can both make an effort. You're coming to my country, make an effort, learn the language, integrate. But they're not, yeah. But at the same time, I could say that, and one can say that I might be sounding harsh regarding the French natives, but it's not. It's just me speaking from an expatriate perspective. But it is a good experience. Well, it's starting to be a good experience for me. So I'm
What
not
about the
complaining.
culture and the religion there? What about the culture and religion? They're all Catholics, I assume, right?
Religion over here, what I find over here is there's a lot of Arabs here
Mhm.
and Muslims. There's and Catholics. Those are the two main religions you get over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of Catholics and Muslims.
Mm. Is there a lot of practicing religious people there, or is it kind of like veiled off, like how people would assume?
Well, as far as I know, yes, practicing is a major thing here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got it.
Mm.
Because I have an uncle who lives in Germany, a stone's throw away, and he says that Germany is probably more Christian than the United Kingdom and the United States because they even have
Mhm.
holidays where UK
Mm.
would have bank holiday, they actually have Christian holidays in Germany. So I was thinking that
Okay.
in France, right? Because they're liberal and they're pretty open, right? And they had a
Mhm.
revolution. Yeah, that's interesting. So you say that there are a good sized proportion of practicing Christians in France?
Yes.
Openly? Wow.
Yes.
Fully realist?
As far as I know, yes.
Do you
And
ever?
the ones that I've come across, they do make it a priority to do the to go to church and try and do things the righteous way and stick to their Christianity as much as they possibly can.
Okay.
So,
Now, do you have holy rollers now? Do you have holy rollers? Those Bible thumping, shouting holy rollers.
sorry, repeat that.
Do you have holy rollers? Those Bible thumping and shouting holy rollers? Those staunch Christians on the road?
Actually, right across from my apartment on Sundays, I do notice that there are two ladies every Sundays. They're there from like 8 o'clock. They come with the stand. They set up the stand with all the Christian magazines and trying to sell you or speak to you and speak speak of the scriptures and stuff like that. So to say elsewhere in Paris, no, I haven't quite seen that. It's only over here in front of my apartment. I see that.
Okay. Cool. That's a unique snapshot into the culture of France. So that's interesting. So I mean, tell me one thing, Peter. So how was the transition really from St. Lucia to the United Kingdom? Or was it easier for you?
St. Lucia, United Kingdom. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because when I first left St. Lucia, I left St. Lucia a week after I graduated secondary school. So I didn't quite do much as an adult. So I went to the UK with my very Caribbean attitude and Caribbean mannerisms. And when I first got there, it was quite difficult for me because I was. Oh dear, you're taking me back. I remember a day I went out for a walk and I was just fed up. And I went back indoors and I started packing my bags. And my mom was like, "What's going on? What are you doing? I want to go home. I want to go back to St. Lucia. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. People are not nice over here. I'm walking around and I'm saying good morning and nobody looks at me. Nobody answers. Everybody's so rude over here." And this was me, and this is my very Caribbean ways. But then when it took a few months for me to settle in and realize that I kind of need to dial back and just pay attention to what is happening in their system. And again, I had to adapt to that. And I'm noticing that now that adapting is becoming quite easy for me. So, but when I adapted and I settled into the UK and I settled into their ways of doing things and the way that they speak, I found myself falling in love with the UK. I did. So,
Did you jump a queue? Did you jump a queue and find out that you shouldn't jump a queue?
jump a queue.
Because I jumped the queue. I jumped the queue by accident. I jumped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was told. Yeah. Well, it wasn't actually. I jumped the queue. I was on a Tesco line and I left the line.
Oh,
And I wanted to come back. So I wanted to get something off the shelf. So I wanted to come back and jump in front of the lady. I was her. She said, "No, you can't jump back in front of me. Get in the back." I was like, "Wow, okay." And I was told. I was so ashamed of myself. I thought, "No, you don't get off the line. You do not get off the line."
Listen,
I've seen
spaces on the queue. Spaces on queues in London is like running elections. When you've lost that space, you've lost that space. You got to go back. So
I actually saw a fist fight outside of a bus stop. A guy was trying to get on the line, and the guy said, "No, you get back in the back of the line." And the fist fight started. You can't jump. Serious business over there.
British people love a queue. They will take, and I don't know. I got to the point where I thought that it was it was a great way of keeping things in order, keeping people in order and stuff. And I came to appreciate that. Whereas in the beginning it was quite like, yeah, I just want to get on the bus. Why do I have to? Everybody's gonna get on the bus anyway. So, but eventually I came to appreciate queuing. It keeps order.
Yeah,
And and the British can be sticklers for order. They can be that. Yeah,
very much so. What about France? Do they queue up in France?
France is totally opposite.
Wow.
Friends, listen, people over here don't know what it's like to queue. It's like first come, first serve.
Really?
Everybody fend for yourself.
Mm.
You want to get on the bus? I could be standing there for a whole 2 hours waiting for the bus, and the man who just came 10 minutes before the bus arrived would still get on that bus before me.
Wow. I
Yeah,
guess that's what it was
he will
about.
get on that bus. People
I
don't
guess
know about queuing over here.
that was a shock, wasn't it?
Um, it was, it was. I don't know, because the three countries um, where I'm familiar with, they're polar opposites, those three countries. So having to learn so many those cultures and those systems, and it can it can take its toll. But at the same time, when you get to that point where you're understanding the way it works, then it becomes a bit easier. But they're polar opposites. The St Lucia to the UK, UK to here, very very different.
Okay.
But
Is there a
I choose to look at the positive. Yeah.
okay, is there a silent coordination amongst people? Because I remember when I was in the UK, on a
Mm.
Sunday afternoon, you could walk down to the pier and you walk down the thing, and the people were just like a silent coordination. They knew how to stay out of each other's way. Is that the same way
Mm.
in France?
Nope.
Nope.
Me
Wow.
personally, nope. Like I said, everything here is completely opposite to what I knew and in the UK, and that was one of the things that made it quite that I struggled with as well when I first came here, because I came here with that um, growing up in the Caribbean and being heavily influenced by the UK. So I'm coming here with still my UK with my UK mentality, and people are looking at me like, no, that's not how it works here. No, it does not work like that. I'm like, but it makes things easier. It makes things better. If you just queue, it makes things easier for everybody. No, no, everybody's fending for themselves. What's this thing about queuing? Do
Yeah.
you understand?
Is that liberal nature of the French, right?
Yeah, that's the, and I grew up hearing that the French people, they're so lovely and they're so this and they're so that.
Mm,
And I can only speak whatever I say here,
mm,
I speak from my personal perspective, because another person might tell you something different. But when I came here, based on what I heard about the French people, I came here and I'm thinking, yeah, that's not what it is. That's not what I'm seeing.
mm.
What I heard is totally different from what I'm experiencing right now.
Mm.
But that's the way it is. But would I right now, as I'm speaking to you, would I change that? No, no, I wouldn't, because I find myself where I'm now settling in. I find myself that I'm understanding the language a whole lot better, and I stopped putting so much emphasis on a lot of the things that I used to, and I just started focusing on my personal growth
Okay.
within the community, my personal integration within the community, rather than sitting back and be like, oh, the French people are this and the French people are that. Why aren't they doing it like this? Why aren't they doing it like that? So, which made things even difficult for me to settle in. So now I'm looking at it from my personal, what can I do to make the situation easier for me?
Mm,
So learning the language is a must. So now I go to French classes, I learn the language, and uh, again, I come back to my style and my fashion. I used uh, I to try and blend in, I would change the way that I dress, and I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to give them the Petra effect. This is who I am, so I'm not changing that. Just like they're not going to change their sense of style and the way that they do things,
yeah.
I'm not going to change mine either. But my thing is just not doing things in a way where I'm disrespecting their culture. I'm disrespecting them or being rude to them in any way. As long as I'm not being rude or being disrespectful, I just decided just to be me. So yeah, and I get a lot of looks for that too. But that's all right.
So what you be? What you happy? You're happy, right?
A happy. I don't know when last somebody asked me that question.
Oh, pretty sure you're not happy.
I don't know when last I got asked that question. Um, Happiness is the ultimate goal. Am I happy right now?
Mm. Is there a
Um,
Mr. Baptiste?
yeah, you got me stumped on that one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you got me
Is
stumped
there
on
a
that
Mr.
one.
Baptiste?
But I will say that I'm at a place where I'm comfortable.
Mhm.
I'm at a place where I'm quite confident with myself as an individual, with the work that I'm doing, with my plans, with my in my friendships, my relationships. I'm confident and comfortable. But would I say that I'm happy? I have the tendency to be quite hard on myself.
Uh,
And I think that alone takes away from one's happiness. Um, and I really need to work on that aspect about me. I always feel like I can always do better, and I'm not always satisfied. So happiness, yeah, come back to me on that one, Mr. Kemp.
okay. That's a complicated
Yeah,
answer. So
yeah,
how?
I'm just trying to be truthful. I'm being truthful.
Okay. Before we get into your professional pursuits, what about your personal life? How is it finding a partner in France? Someone of your type, or doesn't matter.
How is what? Sorry,
How is it finding a partner in France?
a
Considering,
partner.
yeah.
You're asking the wrong woman. you're 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 asking the wrong woman.
Mm,
Finding a partner. Oh wow. Again, I'm going to be very honest with you. I right now in this moment I'm speaking to you, I don't want one.
mm,
I don't want one. And I don't want one in the sense that if I am going to invite somebody into my life to share my life with me, I need to be able to cater to that person emotionally and spiritually and be able to have that time to be affectionate towards that person. And to be quite honest, I don't have that time to give to an individual. So I feel like I'll be wasting that person's time, knowing that I'm not capable right now. So it would be unfair to them. So I intentionally do not put myself in relationships at the moment. When I feel like when I feel like it's time for that to change, my intuition and my spirit will let me know, and I let those things guide me. A lot of the times in my life, my intuition, my spirit, it will guide me. So when it's time to make those changes, and yeah, there's a few things I need to deal with personally as well. Like for example, you just asked me if I'm happy, and I couldn't quite answer that question. I need to
mm.
be able to answer that question before I can put myself in a relationship with anybody. I need to take care of that first because I can't allow or put that kind of pressure on another individual to make me happy. I need to find that personally. So yeah,
Wow. That has come from within. That's true.
yeah,
Oh,
that's the
wow.
only way I know how to answer questions. Just be honest.
Is
So
it because you're
yeah.
is it because you're just grinding on your career and your profession that you really just can't find time to really look inside yourself? Or is it just that it's just a general feeling that you're not where you want to be right now?
I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I'm trying to achieve so much. I've got so many plans, and the plans are grand. And every day I wake up, the plans are becoming bigger and bigger. I don't have that time. Um, and the day that I actually find myself in a relationship, that person would have to be patient with me as well, because that would be one of the major things I would be requesting, patience. Um, because I'm somebody that when I have an idea and I have a project, it's like I have to get it out of my system. And I would need that individual to be patient with me to allow me to see that through. But then if you don't have it in you, or your ego gets in the way, and you will find that there's going to be a problem, or I don't have time for you. So yeah, that's going to be an issue in the relationship. So yeah,
It would
I
bother me.
want to. It would bother you.
Yeah, it would bother me. Yeah, it would bother me. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And I feel like it would bother a lot of individuals. I feel like it would, and hence the reason why I keep myself to myself, so that I know, you know what, the moment is now. When I was younger, I focused on having fun and uh, I don't know, just doing young people stuff, netball, basketball, debates, modeling, fashion, and that was me growing up. And now I'm in my 40s. I'm not going to repeat it. Don't ask me to repeat it. Okay. So, so now it's like, let's put down the roots. I want something that, or not just something, but I want to get to a point in my life that when I get up or when I wake up every morning, I have that sense of purpose. Sense of purpose matters to me. Sense of purpose gives me that, it gives me that drive that I get up in mornings. I know that I have somewhere to be. I know that I have my responsibilities to take care of. I know that I have people who are depending on me as part of a team. So all of that, I thrive on that. So those things put a spring in my step, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel alive. So I want to, I need that, not just want, but I need that right now. So when I get to that place where I'm like, yeah, you know what, I can now step back, or I can now cool down and be like, yeah, let me now start eyeing up a guy kind of situation, or right now, Camp, I don't even want a man to even look at me right now.
Wow.
it's,
Is that cool, Peter?
it's just the focus right now. And now that things are coming together, you know what, like when things are finally coming together, and the opportunities that you've been praying for and you've been wanting and you've been craving, the opportunities are now just banging on your door. It's like, yeah, I'm at that pinnacle moment for those wants and those cravings. So I'm just seizing opportunities. And yeah, relationships, we'll see about that.
So let's talk about
But
you. What's happening with you profession wise? What have you been up to? I see the Island Empress logo in the back, so I guess that's your brand, right?
yes, that's my
So
brand.
what's happening with that?
I Oh gosh, Island Empress is an initiative that I have started, and the idea is about Caribbean culture. The idea is about celebrating us, celebrating our women, celebrating our men as well. I'm about to Island Empress is all about the women at the moment, but in April I'm bringing out the men's version, which is Island Emperor as well, because we can't. I mean, come on now, is all part of the whole situation, so we need to acknowledge them as well. So it is an initiative, like I said, about the culture, building communities, bringing communities together, especially being abroad. Um, I find that being over here, that the Caribbean community, it's not a big community, but we are here. but nothing is happening to acknowledge us. Nothing is happening to acknowledge who we are. So I thought I would start the initiative rather than sit and say, but nothing's happening. I thought then be part of be the solution to the situation. So yeah, so Island Empress is, and that's one of the things that have me excited. It's now people are acknowledging Island Empress. It's like the hard work is finally paying off, that is being acknowledged, and it's now starting to be a household name as well. So, and because that we're still in our infant stage, we started in 2020, and I feel like now that is my main focus at the moment, my main project right now. So I'm putting everything that I am into it. Um, uh, Being here, for example, for this summer, I want to do like a few outings, bringing the Caribbean people together. We're going to start with like a coffee meet, then we're going to have a little excursion because France is so massive. There's so many places that we can go. We can go to the south of France. We can just jump on a coach, head out there. But the beauty about it is we coming together. The beauty about it is introducing one Caribbean person to the next Caribbean person. It's being in a foreign country. It's about letting other Caribbean people know that you don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
We here, there are other people. It can be tough living abroad and being in a country or system that is so vastly different from what you were raised. But we are here. Let's allow each other to be comfortable with our own culture and the way that we speak with our slang, and we don't have to explain things to other people. Or if you're struggling or if you're down for now, you'd be like, hey, Petra, you know what? Um, can you help me out? I need like five euros or something. And you have that community where we can help each other.
That's
For or if you like, I'm going to say for immigration, and we have an immigration lawyer in the community. I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to put you on to Sarah, who's a lawyer. And so she's able to help you and stuff like that. So this is the vision that I have and I see for Island Empress. And it's not just here. I want to do stuff within the Caribbean diaspora as well. And there is a charity aspect that I'm working on for Island Empress. Our main focus for now is going to be about domestic violence against women. That is very close to me. I've worked within that community, that industry for a very long time, and I'm an activist when it comes to domestic violence against women. I'm a major activist for that. And the next thing the charity will be focusing on is loving the elderly. I find that as the new, well, this generation now doesn't pay much attention to the elderly people, and we're not patient with elderly people like we used to be. We don't care and love them and show them affection like we used to be, like growing up in the 80s. Well, I'm an 80s baby, so
right.
so yeah, so loving the elderly and youth and education. By all means, coming from the Caribbean, education is such a massive thing for us, and so we're going to stick to that. So these are the three main um, things that the charity will be focusing on. It does not mean that we'll not be focusing on other things, but we're going to start with that because those are the things that we are knowledgeable on, and these are the things that really pulls at our heartstrings. So yeah, we're gonna start with what we know.
Okay.
So and yeah, an Island Empress is just anything Caribbean. That's what Island Empress is. You think about Caribbean, and that's what Island Empress is. It's about the carnival, the pageantry, the music, the fashion, the way we speak, the slang, and Yeah.
So when's the next showing?
Sorry?
When's your next showing?
My next showing. What do you mean next showing?
Your next collection. Your next collection is coming up. Oh,
Collection of 'cause at the moment we have several merchandise pieces, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We have the Island Empress bags that are coming out in May. We're bringing that out in May or June. And then we have the Island Emperor, which is coming out in April. And we still have we have the Island Empress, which is currently on our website. And we're in the works of creating an Etsy shop, so giving people variety as to different ways of getting um, our merchandise. One of our plans, right? Now that you're speaking about showing, next year we want to have our own fashion show right here in Paris, and we're already looking for, well, putting things together. So that's one of the major plans.
The Caribbean designers or what?
So far, I have two Caribbean designers. One is Haitian and one is from Guadeloupe,
Okay.
which is you get a lot of Haitians and Guadeloupe here due to the language.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
you get a lot of them here. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the ideas that we have for Island Empress come next year when it comes to showing. So,
Okay.
oh God.
That's good.
It's speaking about all of that can be quite overwhelming, but it's an exciting overwhelming. But yeah.
So how did you get into fashion design anyway, though? I mean, was it something that you were always doing as a child, or was it something that you just say, "Oh no, since I'm in France, I'm just gonna start doing fashion"?
Oh no, no. I grew up like that as a child. I've always been a creative. Anything that allows me to be creative, I will put my hand to it. From fashion to shoes, bags, revamping old fashion finds like for example the hat that you're currently wearing.
Mhm.
Give me that hat and a piece of fabric and I can give you something that looks totally different.
Oh, you love
From
my hat? You love my
Yeah,
hat?
yeah, yes.
Yeah, I got this from the Exuma Straw Market. I'm glad somebody asked me about this hat. You're the first person to ask me about this hat. I'm glad you asked. I got this when I was in one of our family islands, Exuma. This was
Yeah.
in November of 2019. And I got this hat out of the Exuma Straw Market because we have several straw markets throughout the country. And so I
Right.
said, get this hat. You know, I didn't know what I was going to use this hat for. And I said, oh no, I'm going to start a podcast. Oh, this is going to be my running kind of like thing. I'm going to have the straw
Yeah.
hat. You know, and it's
Yes.
amazing how I picked this hat out because I was working in the United Kingdom. And this is kind of like almost like a racist kind of story because I was working for a call center. It was like a market research firm, and we were outsourced to this company. They were selling some sort of online platform for businesses, right? And one of the guys who we were paired with, it was me and an Indian guy. We were sent over to this firm, and one of the guys who was working at the firm, every day we used to come, he used to put a straw hat next to my desk, and the Indian guy
Oh.
used to put like a toy horse with a long tail because of his hair, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, wow. I said, this is kind of disgusting. So I said, you know something,
Oh.
I want this hat. I said, can I have this hat? He said, no, you already have to work for it. I said, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna get my own damn hat then. And I got my own hat, and here I am. So I hope he sees this one day. He remembers it. I even got his
Oh,
name. He's so
yeah.
insignificant. Yeah, it was a racist story. And so I love this. I love this hat. I love it. I love it. I love these straw hats. So yeah, I'll buy another one too, actually. So that's how I got.
And
That's how I got in my mind fixated on these hats. You know, you're
yeah.
not gonna be racist. You're not. I'm not. I'm gonna take that like that. You know, but I turn a negative into a positive. This is a positive right now.
I love
Thank
it.
you for liking my hat.
I love it.
Yeah, there
No,
you
but
go.
I do. It's nice.
Island.
I do like a hat. Yeah. Why not? Men
Thank
can
you,
be
man.
stylish as well, you know.
I'm proud of my hat. And so this is not just a hat. This is a crown. This is my crown. I wear this as
Oh,
I
it's
wear
like,
this with
oh,
pride.
nice.
This is my crown. My
Yeah.
crown. For what I went through when I was
Okay.
yeah. or what I went through there. You know?
Is that because of the story that comes with such hat that
Yes.
it means so much to you? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is because I walked away from that racist situation. I walked away with pride, you know. I'm only here doing a
Yeah.
job. I didn't come for all this racist nonsense, you know. And so
Mm,
I walked away from that with pride. It didn't affect me in the least, you know. But
mm.
I still have my hat. I didn't get angry. Because I knew there was ignorance, you know. And they were just clowning and making fun. But you know, I took it as what it was. You know, I let it slide off my back. I turned the negative into
Yeah.
right now. I have my straw hat on, and it means something. My crown, my crown of straw.
Yeah, racism, you get that no matter where you go, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Just a
wasn't
shame.
violent. It was just kind of annoying and disgusting, you know. Especially
Mm,
with my Indian friend. My Indian friend, he was taking it really hard, man, because he was like, "Wow, they have this horse right next to you, or
mm.
and you know they have that thing
They
that
it was yeah, it's such a they did it he did it in such a subtle way that if you don't pay attention, you would not even notice it
you wouldn't notice, right?
kind of situation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I found that's how British people are. They're very, very subtle with that.
Oh
It's not
yes.
like
Oh
American
yes.
subtle. They're very subtle, you know. You know where you stand. You know, you know where you stand as a black foreigner. You know exactly where you stand.
Hmm. The
But I'm so
British,
proud of Rishi Sunak, right? He's the
the
new prime
British
minister.
will do, they will do it and then they will gaslight you about
Yes,
it. This
yes,
is the thing about the British people.
yeah,
And it sucks. It
it does.
sucks, but
Especially if you were black and you weren't actually born in the United Kingdom. Like I was a foreigner, they treat the
yeah.
foreign blacks different than they actually
Oh
treat
yeah.
people who actually born in the United Kingdom. Like
Mm,
we're worthy, you know.
mm, mm.
I was there, people. I saw it. I saw it, and I just accepted what it was. I said, "This is not my country. My country's in the Bahamas." And I
That's
just
right.
understood what it's for and say, "Hey, this is what
You're
it is."
just passing through. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Just passing through.
yeah, that's all. I went for uni, and that was it. You know, I
Hmm.
enjoyed my time in the
Hmm.
United States, despite all those other things. And I will tell you something else, people. I lived in the United States and United Kingdom and the Bahamas. I never got into a fist fight or even close to a fist fight until I actually got to the UK. Like everyone there, the minute they have a pint of ale, they think they're Superman, man. And the average white man would be ready to fist fight you. I'm serious. I never got in any kind of altercation until I actually moved to the UK. I went to a pub. I was kicked once, and I was attacked. Well, I was verbally attacked inside a restroom, and some other
Oh.
guys on the train. They were trying to like gear up and trying to fight. But I didn't get to that. But the guy who kicked me, I confronted him. I pushed him in the chest. I said, "Hey, you gotta stop it, man. Who do you
Mm.
think?" And he backed off, you know. They have like a pint of beer and they think they're Superman, you know. And all were white men.
Yeah.
All were white men. They weren't like this back savage from Africa or
Mm.
from Jamaica. All were white men.
Hmm.
Yes, there's no
Yeah.
like stereotype of white men are more soft and more calm. No, hell no.
No.
They're
No.
vicious.
When they've drank alcohol, there can be quite outrageous. They can get like
Yes,
that.
boisterous and
And it's
disgusting.
like that is the moment where they can say whatever it is that they want to say or they ever wanted to say to you. That's when they're gonna say it when they're drunk.
Yes,
So that's British culture.
yeah. I
I just keep it in the back of my head that you know what, I got my home that I can go to. So I don't necessarily have to put up with all of your
yeah.
or the nonsense that you give. So I
And
got
they'll
my
tell you
home.
to leave. They will tell you to leave. I was working for a
Yeah.
company when I was over there. I was saying how I
Mm,
was about to take a piss. You know, the guy who I was working with, you know, I didn't realize he had racist tendencies either. And this is another company. And he was like, well, I was saying
mm,
about how different it is between here and the United States. And the United States is the United States. I said, why don't you go back there? I said,
yeah.
wow. I said, really? Really, Jasper? Really? That's what you mean? And he was
Mm.
dead. That, I learned a lot at that peer company, but I was glad I wasn't hired by them, you know, because it was like I felt the tension in the air. They didn't respect me at all. You know, they didn't respect me at all.
Well, to be honest, Cam, they don't really respect immigrants, full stop.
No, I know,
They don't.
I know.
But hopefully it's going to change. We can always
The new
hope
prime
and
minister is
pray.
Indian. Rishi Sunak, he's Indian.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Which is surprising when I first found out. I was quite surprised. I was like, wait,
Oh,
was
sure.
really?
Come to find he's
But
rich. That's why he's prime
but
minister. He's rich.
well, there's that. There's
Yeah.
that. Um, but I'm pleased that an Indian Prime Minister is there, but I'm scared for him at the same time.
Why?
So let's see. Scared in the sense that, again, as we were speaking about racism, he gets a lot of flack.
Mhm.
He gets a lot of flack in the media. He gets well, a lot of names, all the kind of ugly names that you can possibly think about, just because of where he come from and the color of his skin. So even in this age that we are in right now, um, it's a shame to say that the color of our skin is still a bother to a lot of individuals out there. And with him being Indian, I remember reading an article when he first got into the position, and the article was I don't it's I don't even want to spread what I read in the article. I don't want to spread that, so
Wow.
I'm not even gonna repeat it.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
gonna repeat it. But it wasn't a nice article at the end of the day. It wasn't nice, and just like you were speaking, you were saying, um, it's like go back to your country. Like, who are you to come and run or rule the UK when
Wow.
there are yes, yeah,
Good for
he's
you.
getting a lot of flack, and I'm hoping that he does really well so that he can shut those people up. I'm really rooting for him, but at the same time, I fear for him because I know how brutal that racism is in the UK. They're going to hide it or pretend like it does not exist, but it is brutal out there. Um, Racism that is, and it's a shame.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
shame.
It's very
Yeah.
silent, you know. It's a lot different from the United States where they're actually shooting black people, right?
Oh,
But
dear.
yeah.
United States is another situation. I've never been to the United States. I've never been, but I do follow a lot of their politics over there. So, and would I want to go to the United States? For some reason, the United States does not appeal to me.
Oh, wow, okay, okay.
It doesn't appeal to me, but it does not mean that if I wouldn't want to go and have that experience at least once, because I always believe in life you gotta experience things at least once in life. And you don't have to do it twice, you don't have to do it three times, but experience it.
Yeah.
Um, I would like to have that experience, but it does not appeal to me in the sense that it does to a lot of people, or people just want to go move over there or want to be returning over and over. Yeah, probably just the once and I'm good. It doesn't appeal to me. Because I remember when I had the option of moving to the US or moving to the UK, and I chose the UK. And I'm glad I did actually, even if they're
Right.
they can be quite brutal over there. But yeah, like I'm glad I did over there.
Living
Hmm.
the dream in France.
Sorry.
I say, and now you're living the dream in France. No?
Yeah, now I'm over here. I'm over here and I'm smiling. I'm good over here.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
good. When I first arrived here, I struggled. I couldn't understand the language. I couldn't understand a lot of things, and I got depressed. I got depressed. I couldn't explain myself or speak or be. I became voiceless when I
Mm.
first arrived here, and I couldn't maneuver. I couldn't go out. I couldn't do things because I couldn't navigate. I couldn't read the languages or the directions properly. So I became quite depressed. I would say for the first 2 years being here. I've been here. August is going to be 6 years I'm here. For the first 2 years was the most challenging part for me. But now, oh dear, I'm in my element. I'm in my element now. Yes, I can go anywhere. I can do almost anything that I please, and I can have a conversation. I'm not fluent, but I can have a conversation where I can explain myself, and the French person can understand what I'm saying. I'm good with that. So yes, and and being here, I've started like a lot of things that I've always wanted to do. I've now found the courage for me to tackle them and be like, okay, you know what? I have a bucket list. Let's do certain things. Let's cross certain things off the bucket list, and like having my own fashion show and starting my initiative. And because even when I was creating initially, I would only create stuff for me and my close ones, my loved ones. I didn't have the confidence for me to create for other people or strangers. Let's put it like that. But eventually, I started, and then I lost that confidence again. And but now I don't know. It could be with age as well. It could be with age. They do say that life starts at 40 and the confidence just heightens. And that is true.
Oh, wow.
Darling, at 40, it's like everything about me heightened. And I'm in a good space. I'm in a good space. And so it's like everything I've ever wanted to do, let's do it. That's the mental attitude now. So let's do it.
Okay. That's good. So you are a bit happy. At least you are a bit contented. So I guess you're answering your question right now, whether or not you're happy. And I think that you're generally happy, but you just need to, keep your eyes focused on the prize, keep your eyes focused on other things that can make you, that can at least enrich your life a bit more. I think. You are
Mm.
happy. You are happy.
Is that what you call happiness? What I just described, is that what happiness seemed
Yes,
to
you're
you?
finding joy. You're finding joy and peace in what you're doing, and you're enjoying the journey as you go along. And that's general
Mm,
happiness. You don't have a down look, or you're not looking down on your accomplishments or where you have to go. You're actually looking up.
mm,
And that's the
mm,
joy. That's the joy.
mm, mm. So
Finding joy.
that's what general happiness is. Okay, then I guess I guess then I'm there. If that sorry, if that is what general happiness is, then I guess I'm there.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like I'm searching for something a bit more. There is that I can't explain it. It's just an emotion. It's an emotion that when I get there, I'll be like, I'm there. Or it's more like a spiritual something.
Yeah. Some people
Yeah.
don't have this yearning inside for
Mm-hmm.
for a higher being. You're
Mm-hmm.
a being. And some would say they don't, but there's always a yearning that something out there is bigger than us and it's calling us.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
we're all a part of the
Mm-hmm.
same brand. And so
Yeah.
I didn't want to get holding on you, right? But I was saying that maybe you should just join up. I wouldn't say join a church group, but join up some people who could actually reach on a higher spiritual path. And you may find some enlightenment. Think about yourself, really, if you haven't done so already. I'm just assuming if you haven't done so already.
Uh, um, no, I haven't. You're saying join a what? A what group?
Join a church group or some kind of a spiritual
A
group.
church group,
Yeah, or a
right?
spiritual group. You don't have to take it serious. Just go and peek your head and see what's going on. I just want to find out what's happening because you're going to find a lot of things and you're going to
Mm,
find missing inside your spirit. If it's yearning, if it's a higher calling, you're going to
yeah,
find it with Christians.
yeah.
And I would say
Okay.
Christianity.
Um,
Just
Church is not my thing. I'll be very frank. I'm not a religious person.
mm,
Um, Religion has never done it for me. I've never felt or found that place where I'm like, some people speak when they speak about church, they'll be like, I found that peace. I haven't. And I grew up Catholic, but then growing up in the Caribbean, and you don't have a choice because your mother will be like, listen, if you're living in my house, you got to go to church on Sundays, kind of situation. So, but being from the time I became an adult and I I could make that decision for myself, I stayed true. I decided to be true to the fact that religion has never spoken to me. It has never it's never appealed or invited me. It's like I'm always having, when it comes to religion, and there's always an unanswered question. Although some people might say that I'm being a bit difficult about it, but if it's not answering my questions, then it leaves me unfulfilled. And the question for me is, if I'm unfulfilled, what's the point of doing it? So I now left religion and I started a spiritual journey. And I started that, I was probably in my 20s when I started my spiritual early 20s. I would say like around 21, I started my spiritual journey. I got knocked off that for a little while, and then due to depression and all of that, but then went back onto it, and
You all went to that.
I haven't looked back since then. So spirituality is more my thing. Have I found a group? No, I haven't found that group either. It will reveal itself. I believe in things will reveal itself eventually.
Yeah,
So
I like the way you
I'm
wrote
hoping that.
How you got that? I like the way you wrote I find it so
Yeah,
cute. Yeah.
really? Oh dear. Okay. Right?
I think yeah, I find it so cute you using that. You know
Mm,
something? It's funny you mentioned depression because we don't talk about depression enough, you know.
mm.
I went through many depressions. I'm not a mini, I went through severe depression for 8 years, man. 8 years. I was
Wow.
walking, stumbling around blindly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was out of it.
It's a depression is it's a horrible place to be. Um, I w- I went really dark. I went really dark in the sense that I had no sense of who I was. I lost every sense of who I was. Um, I was just short of forgetting my name.
Wow.
Kind of, yeah. I lost me. I lost me completely. Um, but then I will tell you this. As I'm sitting here before you, I know I'm going to make this statement, right? And a lot of people might debate me on that.
Mm.
But then as I'm sitting here, I ask myself, does depression exist? Could depression be? Could. I'm not saying that it is not or it is. I'm saying could. Could it be an illusion?
An illusion.
Now, I'm going to explain. Allow me to explain it.
Okay.
Um, what I found is the comparison to then when I said I was depressed to now. It is when our spirit is telling us that we need to make certain changes within ourselves, or we need to make certain changes within our lives. But the thing is, we are not in the position to make such changes, or we're not in that position to elevate our situation or elevate ourselves. Then we just get, because we're not able to do that, we get to the point where we're just vibrating really low. But when we find ourselves in that position where we can make such changes and we can elevate ourselves, then you see that energy, we vibrate higher.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every depression, the moment things start going our way,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, depression, what? You don't even know depression. You were depressed 2 days ago. So I asked the question, does depression exist? So I know I'm laughing because I could just see some of the people out there thinking, who is this woman and why is she speaking stupidness? But I can only speak from the, like I said, from the time that I said I was depressed to now, because back then, I was not in that position to make changes when changes needed to happen in my life. I couldn't. You understand? I didn't have the right people around me. I didn't have the opportunities that I needed. I could not speak the language to even make my own opportunities. So even when I wanted to strive and make an effort, I still had that thing that was keeping me down. I couldn't navigate. I couldn't speak the language. I was in a system I did not understand. So, but at the same time, my spirit was saying, I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to make changes, but I can't. So I started vibrating lower and lower and lower, and my energy just became dark.
Mhm.
But then I then left where I was. And then I went on to study. I did a course, became an English teacher to teach English as a foreign language. Then I went on to do a social media course because I'm a social media manager. I did that for authors and publishing companies and restaurants, and I went on to do that. Um, and even in London, I studied to be a cosmetologist. So when I started doing that and I started achieving things, and I felt like my energy was becoming brighter, and I would wake up and I had a smile on my face, and I would be like, "Hi, good morning," and my presence could be felt when I walk into a room because everything changed and it was happening. So now, and now that things are even becoming better, I've gone on to start an empress, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm happy in the job that I'm in, and I'm happy with this. And you understand, I'm at a good place. Sometimes, Mr. Kemp, I actually forgot I was depressed those years back.
You forgot
Do
what
you
happened.
understand what I'm saying?
I know what
I
you mean.
forgot because I'm able to make the changes that my life needed. I'm able to make the changes that my spirit needed. So I asked myself, does depression exist?
And I
Or
guess
could it be just our spirit telling us that we need to elevate, we need to make changes? So that's how I look at it.
that's a good way of putting it. I would tend to agree with you there too. You know, it's good. Just
All right.
yeah, can we elevate our spirit? Can we elevate our minds and ourselves? As to
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So
Like
it does
fine.
make sense. So it's not just me having conversations in my head then, right?
Yeah,
It does make sense, right?
you're right. You're right.
Right. It's okay. I, you know what? Because I know of how society is nowadays, I don't repeat that to just anybody. I keep that to myself before people be like, what? She's stupid. What is she talking about?
No,
Depression does exist. But to me, I'm at a place where I question that. Does it exist? What is depression? Anyway, that's just my thoughts on that.
that's another thing about people. That's interesting. But you know, you have people
Is it?
giving you medicine for depression.
Sorry?
They have doctors giving you medicine for depression. I don't believe that you need to go that far, but at the same time,
Uh, me personally, I don't really take scientific medication.
mm,
It's never been my thing, and like my like my mom would say, sometimes I gotta suffer real bad before I could actually go to a hospital or go to a doctor. For me, I much rather my holistic ways of doing things that is more aligned with everything about me. Holistic medication and looking after myself and eating right and keeping a healthy mental status. So for me, that's more of my thing, and hence the reason when I speak mainly from a place of spirituality, and that's why I speak so much about spirits yeah, and yeah, that's what I understand. That's my thing of understanding life, basically. So yeah, but scientific medication, it's not my thing.
I go as far as vitamins. That's what it. I don't like.
Ah, good. Yeah, I do those the vitamins as well, and I still stick to Caribbean ways of doing things. Like I'll call up my mom, like, "Yo, mom, I have mommy, I have that kind of pain. What can I take for that?"
Mm.
Or I don't know, my ribs hurt or my back hurts, or what can I do? Right? I tend to revert to my mom for her for
It was,
the Caribbean ways or the old people's medication. That's how I call it.
yep,
That's
yep.
how I call it, old people medication. So like the herbal medicines, I tend to go to that before anything. So yeah, I would get up and boil my garlic skin and the onion skin and drink that water, which is quite refreshing and helps internally. And yeah, that's one of the ways I look after myself. So
That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Mm.
Miss Baptiste, an hour went just like that. Any final thoughts you have? But
Wait,
I
it's
don't have,
been an hour already? Oh dear.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we were
Are you
enjoying the
sure?
chat. That's it. Any final thoughts you have?
Oh dear.
Or you want to end it just like that on a
Well,
good note, a high note?
it felt like we've just been sitting down here for like a 30 or 40 minutes. It does not feel like, oh dear, an hour goes by so fast.
Yeah, because you were chatting.
Um, I know I have a tendency to talk, don't I? But the
Oh, it
thing
was
is,
great.
I
It was great.
talk when I'm comfortable with an individual, and if I'm not, then
Oh,
yeah,
really? I'm flattered. I,
you're, yeah, because if I'm not comfortable, then I'll just be watching you and you'll be getting like one word answers from me. Like, okay, sure, no problem, cool. Yeah. But you're good. You're good at this. You're good at this. Definitely. Because you had me talking. But yeah, but any last words? Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. And for everybody out there, please continue supporting and look out for Island Empress, bringing out Island Emperor as well, and follow us on social media. You can get us on Island Empress on Facebook, sorry, on Instagram and Twitter. And on Facebook, it's my personal name is Petra Lerock. So yeah, check us out. We have a lot of things in store and we're doing a lot of collaborating as well. We're collaborating with the Miss Caribbean USA for this year. Last year, we collaborated with Miss Caribbean and Commonwealth as well. And we collaborated. Oh, and then we were in your magazine, Mr. Kemp.
yes,
Yes, that was a highlight for us. Indeed.
Caribbean Magazine Plus. We have it. And we love the content.
Yeah,
You were great.
that was that was a highlight. Oh boy,
Yes.
I felt like I was a celebrity when that came out. Indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so look out for follow us to see and follow all the other things that we have planned. So be part of the movement, be part of the community. It's a hub, it's a caring hub.
There you
So
go.
we're welcoming everybody.
Oh, there you go, Petra. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Caribbean Line Vibe podcast. I really appreciate having you, Petra. Hope you'll be back as well with more information, more details with you.
Yes, most definitely, because we have, like I said, we have a lot of things coming up. So it would be good to have to be on your platform again and to share with everybody else what we're doing. So yeah.
There you go. There's Miss Petra Baptiste, all the way from Paris,
Yeah.
France, by way of St. Lucian, United Kingdom. Thank you so much, Petra. And there's another episode of
Lovely.
Line Vibe podcast. I guess we'll talk to you again. Goodbye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.